I love ranting. That's why I make all these videos, It gets things off my chest. And if you're wondering what's wrong with the screen, it's because I'm blocking it in my hand right now, and it's not nighttime, it's evening, going to be nighttime. But I love ranting, It also boosts my confidence in articulating and voicing out my stuff, opinions, thoughts clearly, even though I still hate presentations. But even when I have to do presentations, it helps, So maybe if you have feeling the same things and whatnot, you want to rant or whatever, grab your camera. Yes, you can even use your camera or whatever tech you got and record yourself literally. Because right now I'm using my phone, and the other footages that you watched on my channel, I'm using my phone. I used my phone. Yeah, it's that simple. So I love ranting. It gets things off my chest and I feel much better instead of keeping it all inside. Even the other channels that I watched, blackpillers and all, they've also said the same thing. Why don't we create our channels and talk and rant and voice our opinions? This is what I encourage. Anyone got these things and whatnot, say it, tell it. You can keep it secret from your families or whatever. Even if you feel discouraged or nervous, you're afraid that they'll find out, you can block the screen like this, like what I'm doing right now. You don't have to show your face, obviously, otherwise they're gonna see it. You're gonna be exposed, and then they might say it's you, they might suspect it's you, but no, it could be anyone else with a similar sounding voice as you. How do you know that's you? How do you know that's you? How do you know that's not you? You can say that to them. That's not me. There's someone else that sounds like me. You can make out all these lies, no problem. Or you can change your voice tone like this. I'm kind of like that, here and there, and just experiment, blah blah blah. You can, whatever, just fine tune, so to speak, your voice. But you got things and thoughts in your mind, say it, you can relate with others over the internet all across the world, or at least most parts of the world. This is why I rant, speak my 2 cents in this area, in this territory, this continent, just to give my whereabouts, that you have a fellow black pillar over here, in a continent that no one thought would have a black pillar. Yes, which is Asia. And I'm sure Africa also, because it's like all those very conservative types, all those types of people and categories and territories that follow closely what they believe in for so many years, even though they see the wrongs, and then when someone voices it out, they get shunned and all. But we gotta keep it rising, because over the other side in the West, most are waking up. And one thing about the West is, whatever the West does, most of it tends to spread worldwide, widespread, internationally, globally, is what I noticed. That will be in another video, if I come around to it. Otherwise it'd be in this, I love ranting, and I also speak about something else. I'm just trying to make my quota of publishing 3 videos, because it's been a while since I posted, because I was a bit demotivated and also had things to do, stupid university. But I just had to voice out, that's why I created this channel. I had to voice out. I've been wanting to do this like months ago, possibly last year, but stupidity and procrastination that I found within me has held me back. So my advice to you, you gotta not do that, okay? Just start ASAP. You can just start blabbering, because do you notice that this is me? I noticed myself blabbering, and then the whole time I wasn't recording, and I've been saying such good things, such good juicy topics. The whole time I wasn't recording. You can just sum it all up as a rant video, no problem. You can do the same, create your channel, you can put some fancy names or whatever, the typical names, so that you can be easily found, I guess, if you wanna gain some mass audience, fellow black pillars particularly and whatnot. anyone can relate, anyone can resonate, but ignore the haters and those that want to say crap in the comments. You can easily block, no exceptions. Increase your standards, boundaries. Okay, don't be shy, don't be afraid. No more of that. Okay, no time for that. No time to die. James Bond. You gotta have self-respect, kind of a self-pride and all. Don't be ashamed. Don't be shy, because most people do that anyways. Yes, they do. They're hypocrites. They tell you not to do that. It's bad. Your family also tells you not to do that. And then they themselves do that, when they get around other family members, family gathering, reunion, and they see them talking smack, and then when you question them, they get mad at you. Yeah, they're talking smack overall. Don't take them seriously, Like me, myself, in my family. Because I just see it, When you're a black pillar, you become so aware, hyper-awareness. This is one of the things that comes with it, You could call it curse, you could call it a gift. Depends on how you look at it. It's all based on perspective, but you see how I articulated real well, because I've been speaking it out and putting it out there on YouTube, Anyone can relate, anyone can connect. Those people, similar people as me and I, similar with them, we are countries apart, we are continents apart, it's always distant. Cities apart, what is this? You could even boost your memory, if you voice out all these things that you've been keeping inside. That is how my mind is able to pick the words efficiently, and then I'm able to articulate like this, almost like I'm rapping, like a rapper, speaking all these bars, But I'm not a rapper, never claimed to be a rapper, maybe someday, That's the creativity and creativeness and gifts and all these things, imaginations. Like Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. But in each and every one of us, we have creativity. Even if we suck at drawing, even if we suck at painting, even if we suck at murals, even if we suck at portraits, but hey, harbor it, if that's the right word, harness, harbor, hone on it, and then practice, and then it'll become close to perfection, because nothing is perfect, Or if you want to call it perfect, go ahead, but get it all out of your mind, or you can just forget about it. Don't overthink, don't overstress, okay? It don't matter. This life is momentarily. Live in the moment as much as possible, enjoy it, and like my previous videos, take the opportunity when it arises. Okay? The moon fluctuating your emotions and feelings and all that, do it. But make sure it's humane, make sure it's in safe hands and all, okay? Don't do anything like that hurts you or hurts anyone, And unless they hurt you first, then no qualms about not hurting them back, I mean, no qualms about hurting them back. Just do it. So I'm just ranting a bunch because I want to get it more of it out of my system. And it's like a natural memory booster, I guess. You can take supplements too. You get things out of your mind. You can either rant like I'm doing, or you just forget about it because it's not a priority. It don't matter, okay? Don't overthink. Don't prioritize it. What's done is done. And that'll be an interesting video which I'll make, maybe after this or when I get around it. You gotta not take all these things into consideration that does not matter, No use crying over spilled milk. What has happened. Let go, forget. Don't overthink. Otherwise it'll bother you, it'll take up space in your mind. It lives in your head rent-free. I just want to breathe a bit, might as well, right? The following video topic will be don't overthink, I'll be talking more about it, but that's what I'm going to say. So I don't really take life seriously as I used to, maybe a little bit because I have to, right? Because we have to. Even if we don't want to, we can neglect, and then we'll face the consequences. But even if this is the plot twist of life, life is like a story, life is like a game, literally in every sense of that saying. Notice that if you don't take life seriously, there's consequences. But if you also take it seriously, too seriously, there's also consequences. Your health is affected, jeopardized, you self-sabotage, and then what have you been doing with your life the whole time? You're healthy and you're walking, but now you're like in your bed, possibly bedridden, knock on wood. You know, I don't want to jinx or anything, but just saying, just being as accurate and being transparent, honest, straightforward as possible, you know. Just being as prominent, I guess. Try not to hide things, even if it's scary, even if it like makes you shake a little. But hey, honesty is the best policy, am I right? It's people's problems that can't accept it, and then they say you're offensive, you're rude, or you stir them some other way, you stir their feelings, and then they get offended and blah blah blah. That's why we lie. That's why a lot of lies are everywhere, you know. A lot of lies are projected from each and every one of us. All these things, and lies are believed to be truths, and truths are believed to be lies. I mean, with the rise of AI also, you can just concoct all these truths, so-called truths, quote unquote, and then you can even frame people, you know. It's absolutely stupid. My prediction, if this gets out of hand, it'll be like Terminator Genesis, literally. You know, going back in time and saving Sarah Connor, Kyle Reese, all those random names, made up names, Catherine Brewster, you know, John Connor. Yeah, all these robots and all that, we're abusing. You got deep fakes, you got DeepSeek, all this deep, you know. It's not that deep. Hell yes, it's deep. Watch it get out of hand, and then you're gonna tell us it's not that deep. You know, people get framed, people get falsified. Evidences are quote unquote evidence. It's not even real, it's not even true. You're framing someone, you know, absolute buffoon, you know. But yeah, it's almost 15 minutes like usual, you know, YouTube. But yeah, it's just I'm just being as transparent as possible, you know. It's like the kind where if you get to know me and I trust you and all that, then this is where you see me, you know. I open up to you, or if I feel like it, I do as well, you know. Because I'm like sick and tired of feeling down like this, even though I am still a black pillar and will forever till the end of my life, till my last final days, till the end of my days of being alive, I'll be a black pill, because it's reality. Whether you try to avoid it or not, you know, it still is here. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, granted, if you acknowledge it, you acknowledge its existence, it's gonna be even worse, you know. And then you start to dissociate, segregate, separate yourself from people, you know, even your friends, and then they can also see it and feel it in you that you've changed, you know. That's the aura and the energy people can feel with one another. So as much as you try to hide the fact that you're like black pill, maybe that you can hide, but people definitely feel a change in vibrations, frequencies, energy, wavelengths, and all that in you. And then they will also want to start separating themselves from you. I mean, for me, I'm kind of okay, because I never really had friends in the first place to begin with. I only had group mates for assignments. Other than that, we just separate, you know. Even my family is pretty much against me, you know, especially my immediate family, my household, you know, not the distant relatives. But yeah, it's already 14 minutes and 23 seconds and counting. I'm gonna summarize. Ranting is good. Ranting makes me feel better, you know. I encourage it, I recommend it. You should. Don't be shy, alright? It's not like the presentations where it's in a classroom or meetings and all that, you know. All those are ridiculous because you're technically clowning yourself. But yeah, as I always said, be you, do you. I'm gonna sign out now. So peace, peoples and black pillars. Adios.